Bass guitar. We bet you've heard a lot of jokes about this instrument. But why is it so essential? Why does your favorite rock, funk, or soul band rely on bass lines so much? What's the role of a bass player and what skills do you need to start playing? Let's find out. A little bit of science. Any melody we hear consists of notes. But what is a note? Basically, a note is a sound frequency. The higher the frequency, the higher the note, and vice versa. Compare, for instance, this low note with this high one. As a bass player, you'll operate with low notes. Have you ever heard that low sound during gigs? The sound that makes your body vibrate and keeps your feet moving? Well, that's what you'll do, with the help of this 4-string or 5-string cutie, of course. Don't worry though, because you'll never be alone. Bass guitar is an essential part of the rhythm section, the same as drums or percussion, by the way. So stay close to the drum beat, your buddy, your sibling, your friend, your partner, your pal, your ally, your comrade. When drums and bass are on the same page, that's when the real magic happens. First things first, with a proper work ethic and motivation, you can learn anything. Playing bass isn't an exception. However, there are some skills and tricks that will be really helpful. As we said, bass is the backbone of the rhythm section for any band. Make sure to develop a proper sense of rhythm. The good news is that you can achieve it during the actual learning. Knowing musical theory is a great advantage as well. Pay attention to the basics like notes, scales, time signatures, beats per minute, and chords. Versatility is another huge plus. What do we mean by that? The more different music you listen to, the more original and fancy your playing will be. And hey, keep in mind that a bass is heavier, we mean literally heavier, than electric or acoustic guitar. So you'd better be ready for that, too. Okay, there's no universal answer for this, but here are some things you'd probably like to consider. First of all, ask yourself, what music would you like to play? Something heavy like black metal? Maybe classic rock? Funk? Blues? What about progressive music? Different guitar models fit better to particular genres, so your musical preferences will affect your choice. Next, your goal. What would you like to achieve with your first bass guitar? Do you just want to try it? Or you'd like to record your music? Or maybe you already have an arrangement to play in a band with your buddy. Price range depends on the answer, but remember, you don't need a fancy expensive bass to learn how to play. And last but not least, keep in mind your financial capabilities. Don't forget that for bass guitar, you'd probably like to buy an amp as well. Still, you can plug in the guitar to your PC or laptop. You just need the proper audio input and appropriate software. Finally, here are some tips for you. Bass is like the glue that keeps music together. A great bass player makes everyone sound better and stand out. That is your main goal. Playing bass is all about sacrifice. But hey, someone needs to keep everything in line during 5-minute guitar solos, right? Start with the basics. Fundamentals are the key. Even the greatest bass players started from the basics, so why not make the same journey? Sense of rhythm and musical theory are the solid foundations for any future adventures. Move step by step. Keep your own pace. There's no need to rush. Yes, learning may be frustrating, but success always takes time. For now, slapping and sound effects can wait. Don't forget about the dynamics. In some ways, playing music is just another form of communication. Probably you know someone who speaks like this. I remember saying something like, I feel a bit lightheaded, maybe you should drive. And suddenly there was a terrible roar all around us, and the sky was full. Boring, right? Well, compare the same text, but with a different dynamic. I remember saying something like, I feel a bit lightheaded, maybe you should drive. And suddenly there was a terrible roar all around us, and the sky was full of what looked like giant bats. That sounds much better, right? Stay the course while playing a bass. Change the note's volume and lengths, and make accents to create a dynamic sound in your music. There's no wrong way to play. That's right, playing music is poetry, not exact science. So there are no right or wrong answers here. Your style of music depends on you and you only. It builds upon your personality, preferences, even physical capabilities. Trust yourself, and you'll reach your goals, no doubt about that. Thanks for watching.